A double in the building.
We here. Playoffs.
Playoffs are here. New beginnings for the G-Men. Who else would wear merch from a team who won 4 games this year than your boy?
Usually, when someone does that, it's because it's a new era. Like, finally, the terror is over. Like, I feel like Jet fans last year, when Adam Gase finally got fired, they wore everything possible. So I totally understand that Giant fans are wearing their gear because, boy, I was going to say last few weeks, but forget the last year or so has just been a nightmare, from the training camp stories of players retiring and then just these past press conferences. Good Lord.
I mean, he did everything in his power to lose his job, right? Those last 5 to 6 weeks were just a nightmare, from the way he handled the media, talking shit about Washington, like subtweeting kind of.
I thought the Pat Shermer stuff was unnecessary.
Just everything.
Yeah.
And then I'm not for bullying, but I feel like Giants Twitter and social media bullied the Giants into firing Joe Judge.
Especially to a fake tough guy, because Joe Judge is a fake tough guy.
That's what it seemed to be like.
Yeah, a guy that wants to, like you saw what Warren Sharp posted about, we're going to play like, every play is like, our bodies are on the line, our reputation's on the line. We're going to go out there with pride. We're going to represent this city. And then quarterback sneak on 3rd and 9.
Yeah, dude, I told you, and you always laughed at it when I said he lost me game 1 with the Steelers, no man's land, Monday Night Football. He punts on 4th and 1. I'll never forget that. I turned to all my friends. I'm like, he don't got it. He don't got the balls.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, way back then. It was the COVID year, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt last year because
there was some respectability.
There were. Like, at least last year, they played hard every game.
Right.
Like, they rarely got blown out. There was rarely a no-show from the team this year.
Defense was a legit top 10 unit.
Defense was very legit. Remember, I was singing the praises for James Bradbury. I was like, I love the signing. Yeah. Dude should be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. He's not going to win it, obviously, but he should be in the discussion. And, yeah, they fall a half game out of the division last year, but that's because the division was so bad across the board with Dak going down and all the stuff that happened in Washington. But for the most part, some Giant fans were excited and optimistic about this year because of the free agent signings. And now it's year 3 at Daniel Jones. Let's see something. But, dude, just flat.
Colossal failure across the board.
Yeah, and it needed to be done. They had to fire Joe Judge because the worst situation to be in, I personally hate it, and I feel like you're a lame duck coach no matter what the coach is, when the GM job is available and there's a head coach in place. Like, you need to clean house across the board. I don't think it works like that.
Usually it's the other way around. The GM stays and the head coach is gone, like hence in Miami. And you saw with Tampa Bay, like, people thought Jason Licht should have been fired, yet they keep him and then bring in Arians, and now they win a Super Bowl. So usually the GM gets to keep his place.
But would you agree that it's the GM picks his head coach,
right?
Then the head coach finds the quarterback, collectively together.
And I just think there would be so many potential candidates that would be turned off by the Giants if Joe Judge was there.
Of course.
Like they just see his approach, just the press conferences. It just seems like everything was lost with him. There's no identity, and it's hard to take him seriously. So I can see GMs, as bad as things are per se in Chicago, or things are okay in Minnesota, even though Minnesota's in a really rough cap situation. But, like, if you compare the 3, it's like if Joe Judge would have stayed, I'm taking my chances in Minnesota or Chicago. Now it's kind of like an even playing field.
Oh, and I also think that those 2 teams, at least the direction they're going, is way better than what the Giants have.
Right.
At least Minnesota was a team that they have a lot of good players. Yeah, some guys are making big money, but at least they're like, all right, all these guys are ballers. Right. In Chicago, you don't know what's up with Fields. Do you like Fields?
I do like Fields. I find it very concerning that you want to talk about bad press conferences. What happened Monday in Chicago was a total atrocity. They took the journalist's death, Dickerson, and they used it. They kind of connected the president to Matt Nagy's son being booed. Matt Nagy getting booed at a game with his son playing. Like, it connected the death of
the beat writer.
Yeah, the 11-year-old not having either of his parents now to and he transitioned to how it wasn't right that Matt Nagy's got booed at his son's game, and people are saying get fired. And it was a real weird correlation. And then Olin Kreutz, who's a 5-time All-Pro center, I remember back in the early 2000s, one of these monster centers. Like him and Kevin Millar were like the premier centers back in the day, and they offered him a job for like $15 an hour to help come be assistant coach and help the team, learn pass protections and be offensive line coach and all that. For $15 an hour, you're telling me a 5-time All-Pro center, a guy who played for your franchise for over a decade, is now getting paid that. So things are really ugly in Chicago right now. I'm surprised it's not getting more visibility, but then again, I guess the Giants have just been commanding a lot of attention.